So it's been a while since I gave any update on Palantir, and there's a reason for it. If you have watched my last Palantir video, then you might remember I mentioned that I will not be doing much with the stock. I'm basically in a wait and watch mode with the stock as I have some options, of course, that's open, and I also own the shares that I originally bought last year. But I'm waiting for a few things on Palantir to be more active on the stock. So in today's video, I'll share some details on this stock and when, in my opinion, will be a good time to start playing the stock actively. And if you enjoy content like this, then please click on the like button, consider subscribing, and if you'd like to talk about stocks, cryptos, investing, Palantir, SoFi, then join our Patreon group. Link is in the description below. So let me share a few details on Palantir that took place in the last few weeks, or I would say in the last few months. So one of the things, or one of the main reasons why I waited out playing this stock is because of the insane insider transactions. And I completely understand the logic behind the sale and also why they need to do this. But as an investor, this just dilutes the stock more and makes it even harder for price to move any further. So take a look at this chart and let me explain the colors for a second over here. So this is the chart on your screen that has all the insider selling from last 1 year. So this is December of 2020, December of 2021. And all the green that you see is the buy or are the buys, all the yellow are the options grant, and all the red means they sold the stock. So if you pay attention over here, initially there were very few in the first few months, of course, and then we had these red where they started to come out and start selling the stock. Then we had these green where they were basically buying the stock, which is of course a very good sign. And then we had these yellow option grant that happened so many times and red that happened so many times that it's very hard to track green anytime after, I would say, May of 2021. So pay attention. Since May, we had some greens over here, and then after that, all we see is yellow and all we see is red. Lot of options granting and lot of options execution where they came out and they sold the stock in the open market. I'm gonna next show you a table very quickly here. So the table over here shows all the people, those who have sold the shares in the open market. These are not option assignment. So on this table, everything that's blank, that means nothing is written under net sale or net buy. That means they were granted an option and they basically executed the option or basically got rid of the option right away. That's why we see it as neutral, but all the transaction happened in between as well. These red only shows the net share that was sold in the market or outside in the open market. So that's why you see all these stocks that were basically sold by these insiders into the open market. So these are not counting the yellow ones. Yellow ones is the option grant and option sold, which is not mentioned in this table. These are all the blank line. The name is mentioned, the date is mentioned, but nothing mentioned here because this chart only mentions or talks about the net sales. The other important thing that I wanted to bring your attention to is this. So take a look at this. This is comparing the investment or ownership in Palantir since October 31st. So investment advisor, if you see over here, from October 31st to current, they increased by 1.89%. The individual ownership, this is very interesting, since October 31st, got less from 14.14% to 12.26%. Insurance company also decreased their holding from 13.1% to 12.16%. Bank increased their holding from 3.85% to 4.19%. And then you can see the hedge fund, pension fund, venture, and all other things by few percent here and there. So I've shared the reason why I'm not opening any trades with Palantir just now, because I'm just in a wait and watch situation. I want to see how the insider selling will improve in Q1 of 2022 before I start jumping back in and started to trade this stock actively. Now let me share the reason why I'm still invested in Palantir and I believe in Palantir. So take a look at this image. So this is a Vanguard Fund right here, as you can see, and this is the holding of Vanguard Fund. So from Q3 of 2020, you can see they have always increased their holding as they have gone in more and further quarters. So in Q3 of 2020, they held about 728,000 Palantir share. Then in Q4, they increased to 20 million, then 25 million, then 98 million, and now 119 million, as you can see from Q3. But what's interesting is look at this graph as they started to increase. So they are not only increasing the size, of course, of the US as they're holding the stock or the shares, but recently they have started to purchase internationally as well. This is UK, this is Ireland, this is Australia, this is Canada. And these last four, I would say, or five, as you can see, are new addition as early as Q2 of 2021. And as you can see, they have increased dramatically. In Q2 of 2021, only 163,000 shares they held of Palantir in the UK fund right here. This is the fund right here. They held about 163,000 shares, as you can see. And then in I would say 3 of 2021, they increased to 1 million. Then the same thing with Ireland, before only 119,000, then it went to 949,000 and now 955,000. And then Australia as well, 211 to 619 to 662. And Canada is very new. They started in Q3, and I'm pretty sure they're going to increase Canada as well in the coming days. So this is really exciting that Vanguard, of course, we know Vanguard is a huge company, and of course it's an international company, believe in the company more than the retailers, because as retailers are selling, they are basically adding into the fund. So next, let's quickly talk about how long do you plan to hold Palantir? Well, I have mentioned in my previous videos that this is a 5 to 10 year hold, and I still say that. But sometimes we like to play options, and monitoring the stock price for options is very critical. So take a look at some of the analyst price targets and what kind of return the stock can bring for you in the next 12 months. So this is a 12-month price target on Palantir, which basically 8 out of 12 analysts are rating the stock to be about $24.13 in the next 12 months. Last price was about $18.79. That's almost 28% increase from where the stock is right now. So where the analysts are saying the price can go, and price can reach $24 very easily, as we have seen just like a month and a half ago where the price was for Palantir. Even though this is not an important thing that I consider analyst price targets, but when you're playing options, I do look at these price targets to kind of make my options play in Palantir. So of course, I'm not doing anything. I'm waiting till Q1 of 2021 before it started to play options on Palantir more actively. Okay, so next I want to show is the chart of Palantir over here. So this shows some support and resistance, and I just quickly want to go over some pricing. So as you can see, this is from last 1 year, and I'm going to place it in a way so you can see properly. Yeah. Okay. So as you can see, this is all the way from 2020 right here in the beginning, and then we have 2021 December over here. So some of the lines that I have drawn, I'm going to explain you. Number one is, so this is the bottom support right here. 1706, the price dropped in May, was the lowest, of course, this year. Since then, the price went up all the way to about $28, almost 60% increase from where it was right now. Then we had the second support level, which was set at about $21, which was, we touched a few times actually. We touched over here in March, then in April again, then in May we dropped below when we had that crazy sell-off. Then after that, we touched that price again in July. And then after that, this time we finally broke that support. And right now we are looking closer to the initial support that we had of about $17, which is, of course, if you look at it from the investment point of view, this is an amazing opportunity. The stock is sitting below all the moving averages, and stock has been sitting below moving averages since November, if you can see over here. So this is, of course, a very critical time for the stock, and of course, who are interested in owning Palantir, this is a golden opportunity. Again, my opinion only, I'm not a financial advisor. Next thing I want to bring your attention to is the resistance level. If you pay attention over here, this is the resistance level of Palantir of about $28, around 28 something and then 27 something. It's kind of remains in between that. This price point is very, very critical in the next bull run. And I bet next time also we are going to see a very hard resistance at this level, because we saw multiple times the stock kind of touched, went down, tried to come up, couldn't touch, went down. And then after that, again in June, July, tried to touch, nothing. In September, October, kind of crossed it. I was really excited to see. I actually sold some covered calls over here for $27.50. It never hit, but it went very close of hitting the price that week, I still remember. But then after that, it retraced, and then it tried to go back again in November. And then now, you know, the sell-off, the Fed, the whole thing, the COVID, everything is in high gear right now. And that's why we see the price all the way bottom to the bottom resistance line over here. Along with that, the RSI on the stock, yep, you can see, is amazingly low right now. This is in oversold category. Literally, this is such a good point for any stock to enter on a daily chart. If the RSI is at 26, So all the technicals are looking really good on this stock. The RSI is down, the stock is down to almost May level, and we know that we had 60% run from May lows to September highs. But the only thing that I'm waiting for is the insider selling, as that always hurt this stock in more than many ways, because there is just so much of it. I also would like to see, for a change, some insider come out and buy the stock in open market, because there are many reasons why insider sells their stock, but there is only one reason why they buy in open market. I still believe that company will do amazing in the coming years, and I have seen their ongoing full page ad or commercial in Wall Street Journal, and I'm always like looking for the Palantir commercial. So they're actively advertising and aggressively selling. Hope I provided some value, and if you like the video, then consider subscribing and hit the like button so we can reach out to more Palantir lovers. And if you like talking about Palantir, SoFi, Tesla investing, then head over to our Patreon. Details are in the description below. An absolute pleasure to share all of this with you. Until next time, you all have a sparkling day.